Hello.
Hello?
Are we live? Is mine green?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it is.
Sweet.
We
Well,
all
we're chilling.
chillin'. Chill as heck.
Chilling with Dylan. And
Chillin' with Dylan and Elf.
there we go. So, as we're getting started, I want to show you this card I made at least a year ago, if not like a few years ago. It's like this cool thing you can fill out. It's called the Deep Recovery Tool.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the 6 dimensions of health and the 5 skills to build your health. So the deep health dimensions support your skills, and then the skills build your deep health.
Oh, cool.
And then on the other side, I have goal, skill, practice, and action. And so we can pick a goal to work towards with developing skills, and then you can find a practice within the skill. So you practice the skill.
Yeah.
And then the action is like a very specific thing that you can do every day to work to practice to get towards that goal.
Okay.
And so the intention with this is either to just give you and then plant the seed. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
It is you can draw on it. I've got a whole stack of them, so if you want more, I can give you some. I originally printed those out because I'm a coach. I'm a nutrition coach. I studied sleep, stress management, recovery, accountability, change psychology. But I realized I didn't want to develop like a coaching practice where I'm just like meeting in private with people. I wanted to do it in public, like recorded.
Yeah.
And because it's not just health, I think the change aspect was like really lit me up. Like, how can I be a part of planting seeds for people to change? And so not necessarily like me being the person that holds your hand through your journey.
Yeah.
But like
Sparks
just
it.
having been in your life a couple times, and if we never meet again for some reason, like how your life trajectory might be different because we met. And then introducing some seeds like with the books and the people, connecting with other people, and then like filming this so that I can bring people together and show them like the people that I've met and like the cool conversations that we can have.
Totally.
And there's a lot more. I feel like I'm getting some of your energy because I know you like to talk, and like for some reason I'm feeling like talking a lot.
That's all right. So. I mean, maybe you're just picking up my energy. That's what it is. It's transference. And I did yap for like 30 straight minutes, so that.
I mean, it was cool though because it was you got to meet Amanda, and
yeah, she's great. She's really cool.
It was a fun crossover.
She's my neighbor.
I know.
And she's my neighbor. That's happened more than once recently, where it's like we live a few blocks away, and I'm like, I kind of like it. It's like building the community, like knowing your community is one of the big points of my current life is like, I need to know my community because who am I going to rely on? Who can I go to? Or like if something happens, what am I going to do? And I want to be able to have the confidence that like, I at least know people out there that are at minimum, if they're not helping me, they're probably helping somebody else because I know they're that kind of person, So I don't know. I like that she's right in the neighborhood. Felt like cousins meeting or something. It was cute.
Definitely.
Pigeon carriers.
And you guys were talking about sending messages with birds, and
literally.
like that you just mentioned the big piece was like if something were to happen, like knowing your community and people that are close to you, it even if you're not reaching out to that person in that moment, it feels good to like know the people in your vicinity. Yeah,
there's a security that comes with it. So I feel like that's where a lot of people's like insecurity in public comes from, is they don't know anybody, and so they feel like everything could be an unknown scary thing. But in reality, if you knew that, hey, I have 20 people that I know in Eau Claire that I are somewhere out there that I could run into at any time. Like, you never know. Sometimes it gives you a little confidence of like, oh, my friend doing this might be there because they're interested in that too. And if not, you're probably going to meet other people that are also interested in it. So being open to seeing someone you know might make you more open to meeting someone you don't, and like finding a new person you know now, changing that. I don't even know where I was going with that, but I was just talking.
Yeah. Have you met anyone in the last few years that have changed your life?
Oh my God, so many people. I would say, important. So where I live, I won't talk about where I live for safety, but where I live next door to an older gentleman, and his mom used to live with them as well. And when I moved in, he knows my mom through small world stuff, and then it worked out that I was able to get the apartment next to him, but his mom had dementia. And at the time when I moved in, we got 8 months worth of road construction that completely upheaved her life and her routine.
Mm-hmm.
And she was honestly a big reason that I became community oriented, because I found myself 2 to 3 times a week having to go look for her because she got out and she, was trying to find somewhere she knew and it was no longer there anymore. And even though she couldn't remember the conversations we had, she remembered me. And I think she was basically the most vulnerable an adult can be. And her trusting me just like really, I don't know, it like gave me some sort of, made me feel like I was a superhero, because she just always trusted that I would take care of her. And she told me that. And she would say, I know you would take care of me. I know you'll come find me. Like, she would tell me that even though she barely knew me. And she changed like my life she was the second embodiment of my past grandmother. And so like I was able to like, as an adult, hold on to someone I loved still. And she passed in April of last year. I cry a lot, so if I cry, I cry. But she passed in April of last year, and I was there the night she passed, and it's hard to express, because being there when someone dies is like, you don't want to say that was life-changing, but like it was a little bit to witness that, and like her spirit was ready, and like to see someone whose spirit was ready. That's one thing. It's one thing when you have to witness someone that wasn't meant to die. It's another when you watch someone really struggle, and like she spent over 20 years having dementia. So she went through 20 years not knowing who she was, who her life was at any given time. And she still smiled at me every time she saw me. She still waved at every car that went past. She still gave anybody a hug. And she changed my life to do that. And now I'll keep talking. And now that I have the show to myself. But yeah, she was really cool. Y'all would have liked her. Nance Pants. I got a little blurry. I might cry again.
Quite a moment.
That's okay. Probably better stop crying now before I would probably start again. Whenever I talk about anybody I care about, I just cry. But yeah, Nance was the best. She changed a lot of the way I saw the world. And then because of her, I took care of our other neighbor who had Alzheimer's. And she was taking care of her was like taking care of myself with Alzheimer's. Like it was literally like every time she did something, I saw myself in her and was like, I do that same mannerism. I have that same like method of speaking. It's like seeing a version of myself in the future, which it taught me a lot about, like she taught me a lot because I think her condition came from trauma and like the life she lived and the repression of the life she lived and was subjected to. And she remembered those moments. She would have days where she remembered the worst moments of her life for the whole day, and all she could do was relive the memory of it. And it just kind of was like, oh my God, I can't internalize things that have happened to me just because I think that I'm strong enough to handle it. Like I'm seeing the clear physical embodiment of what that does and how that affects the brain, and how like just pretending like it's not happening and like you can handle it because you're strong, like the repression will eventually catch up and it'll take the memories that you want to keep and it'll just leave the ones you don't. And that's something that I would not have learned. Like I literally would probably not have learned if I didn't take care of somebody who had in 2 years lost all. She went from being a composer and a music teacher and a beautiful pianist and like just so intelligent and cared about everything and donated money monthly to things, and like she was the most similar to a saint you could be, really. And yet she is physically fit, she could live another 20 years physically doing all the things she did, and she's in her 70s. And she's mentally in 2 years gone from could compose an entire choir to can't even really read. And like I think that's just, we take for granted how many of the skills we have and use all the time. And I think taking care of people like her and Nance really gave me like perspective on how much I take for granted and how much my abilities, if I didn't have them, how would I like life? How would I like living? And how would I look at it? And I don't know that I would want that. I don't know that I would want that, but I know that despite that they didn't want that, they still kept going until they couldn't. And I still have the second one, but she's in a home now just because of her own. She got out multiple times and walked like miles away, and the cops are kind of like, hey, if we don't figure out a way to keep her safe and not in her slippers in the winter. And the human spirit has the will and desire to continue, and she wanted to make music and she wanted to teach and she wanted to change lives, and she can't in the same way. She doesn't know that she can, and she doesn't know how she does it now, but she wants to. And like, even I went to visit her this week, and the first thing she did was talk about what she saw in the news that was stressing her out because she wants to save everybody and everything. And also I find myself being like, well, if I just devote every minute of my day to other people, then I'll never have to feel bad about, like, and I feel like she's done that. And so I'm like, now I'm like, okay, I can be a little selfish with my time. I can take care of myself first because I can't pour from an empty cup. And she still tries to pour from an empty cup. And even that, like, that insistence on living, I admire in her, because she wants so badly to fight whatever it is that is causing her to lose so much. And she can't. There's no way to fully fight it. There's no way to like turn it off and bring back the memory you once had. And we don't know, actually. I guess maybe there is a spiritual condition we could find one day that could revert you back, but I don't know. I think having those two people in my life that like were coming from so little here, they came from so much, so many years of so much, but like so little at the same time. Both of them lived lives they didn't want to live. And I don't know, I think there's a lot of thoughts I have where it's like, when my parents used to tell me something, I would go, do I want to live like that? And when you actually see the result of somebody living a certain way, even when they're the best person ever and they did everything right and they were the person everyone could rely on, even then, she doesn't get to enjoy all of the culmination of all that good she did. She doesn't get to enjoy it. And so I think that's like, there's balance that has to be found in like, when you are forced to do something you don't want to do, maybe you say no and you stop it before you like go forward. and end up in 30 years of a life you don't like. Or like, you know, it's just, I think that they're, I don't want to say small examples because they're huge examples, but like they were probably the most recent, like super impactful. I think every time I go out, I meet someone that changes my view on something. I once met a lady in the grocery store and we talked for 45 minutes, and her daughter had the same chronic conditions I had, and we were empathizing with each other and like talking about solutions, and like we hugged each other twice before we left. Like, I don't know this woman. I've never talked to her in my life, but we were like shopping at the same section, and I commented on the pizza she got, and then we talked for 45 minutes. And like that kind of thing happens so regularly. And I try to remember everyone I meet because I want them to be remembered. Everyone deserves to be remembered. And I think a lot of the people that make impacts on me tend to be the people that are less remembered. Like they do so much with so little reverence towards them. And I want to be able to say, like, this is a person on my path. At minimum, I want to know their face so that if I see them again, I can go, I know you, you know me, we know each other, we recognize each other. And we did that first time too. We knew each other and we didn't realize, but like it was there, you know, like we found that we knew each other because we had the similarities. And that's all it takes is like, even you and I mean, you came into my job and we just like talked during an interaction, during like me working, and like now we're here. Like that's like, even that, like small, like I think even when we were like, we recognize something in each other that we both see, whether it's just universally or like neighborhood wise, there's a recognition that people have. And so that woman in Woodman's that we just were buying pizza at the same time, like we recognized each other without knowing each other. And then we got to know each other and realized that, oh yeah, we've met before some other time, maybe a different lifetime, maybe not this lifetime, but like, I know you, we know each other. And I don't know, I guess people impact me all the time, which is kind of why I got away from like being in a person forward job, because I had a hard time giving out my energy without at all setting boundaries on like, hey, I can't handle that. Sorry for slapping the mic. But now that I'm in a position when I like what I sell, and I'm knowledgeable about what I sell in a way that I actually want to use, and not just like I know about it, you know. But I don't know. I found myself just like being so drained because I do think that like my presence is healing, and I recognize that people find healing in my presence. And I think my touch really, which happened with tattooing, I think, where I like was absorbing a lot of energy because I'm touching, so I'm literally scarring their body. I'm permanently making them on canvas. Like it does mean a lot, despite the fact that it could be a potato tattoo. You know, like it's the action and the transaction that we have of energy is like very big. And so I went from like working sales and service jobs and like just constantly Disney, that was like my cutoff. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm shaking with like angst because I'm just tired. I'm burnt out, and I can't give anything when I'm burnt out. I can't give from an empty cup. And so now I'm like, that's why I want to be in sales. If I'm going to be it's going to be in something I really am passionate about, or like use regularly and can talk about, not just like selling something for the sake of it being sold. Like that doesn't, I don't actually, the selling part of it does not light me up at all. I wish I could give it all away. I wish I was just there to like hand it out for free, but we're at the sales part of life. And so I interact. But I don't know, I find a lot of those interactions out in public and just like at the grocery store or like at the post office or whatever, like we're waiting in line, might as well chat for a couple minutes. Like I just am the kind of person that's like, if your energy calls, I will answer and I will try to talk to you. And if somebody seems like they really don't want to talk, fine. I'm not here to like force people. I don't want to have uncomfortable conversations. Nobody has to be there if they don't want to, but like I don't find that's generally who I talk to. I find that I generally talk to people that are receptive and like want to change, probably want to feel a change. They ask for something in their universe to show them that there's a difference out there, that there's something different out there. And then I show up and I'm like, hey, I can be different, or you can be different, or I can be really normal, and you can just like see that even though I'm weird, I'm pretty similar to you. Like that's okay. You can be kind of weird, and people will still like you and still be your friend and like still respect you. And the people that don't necessarily need to be in your circle. Like that, I resonate with. I don't like everybody, and not everybody likes me, and I'm okay with that. I respect everybody that respects other people. They don't respect people, I don't respect them. Again, that's one of my moral things where I'm just like, you treat others how you want to be treated, and so I treat others how they treat others. And so if I find that somebody's being rude, I might be a little rude to them. But I feel like that's the karma. I'm the karma that comes when you're rude to someone else, because they might not have the chance to tell you to F off, but I do. And I don't have a problem if you don't like me. I'm okay with that. And I'll skip off into my car and have a really good time after, and I won't worry about it. But not everybody gets that, right? So I can be that. I can be that person in the grocery store that doesn't make sense, but is there.
I love that you can do that and walk off and let go of it.
I don't know that I can let go of it, but
okay.
I know that it has to be done. And sometimes things have to be done. Again, you have to be uncomfortable for change to happen. And so if I see something over and over again where I'm like, okay, I'm noticing people are continuously behaving this way, acting like it's okay, and nobody is doing anything despite the fact that they're clearly uncomfortable. I'm loud. I have very few like filters to say don't talk about this. And so if I'm like, you're being disrespectful or you're talking about something disrespectful in front of people that you shouldn't be, like, keep it somewhere else. If you're going to be gross, go home. Be gross in your garage. I don't care, but like, don't bring it in public. It's not our business to know how nasty you are. Or if you want us to know how nasty you are, you're going to have the consequences that come from being nasty in public. Be gross, be a bigot, fine. But I think we need to be at the point where people do something about it instead of just assimilate to the discomfort and the violence. I don't want to assimilate to the most violent people or the most judgmental people. I want to assimilate to the people that are like, compromise can be found. We can compromise. You might not like me. I might not like you. We might be in different places. That's okay. That's okay. But I don't like when it becomes like, you can't be here because I don't like something you're doing. When it's like not something harmful. You know, you can't be here because you're a woman. That's a silly thing. And any other marker of a person, whether their gender, their race, all of that, that doesn't make sense why you wouldn't let somebody come in for any of those things. Now, it makes sense if I say, hey, you're a bigot that makes people uncomfortable. You can't come. You're not invited for a specific reason, and I think that's fair. But I think it's been viewed recently as like the same thing. Like, you punch me and I punch you back, that's not the same crime. We didn't commit the same treason against each other because you hit me for no reason. So I hit you back. But like, we're in this time where it's like, I think it needs to be separated, and it needs to go, no, I hit you back because, which granted, is that the way we handle things? No. But also, why is it the same crime? Why is it the same? Like, I think you should be like, okay, you defended yourself. And honestly, that person that hit somebody, if they're willing to hit somebody, they've probably done it before. Like, for no reason. Again, I don't really, like, if you're in a fight with someone, duke it out. I don't care. Like, be violent and go punch each other if you're both need a fight. That's fine. But I just want to be at a point where, like, people recognize that there's a difference between how something is like perpetuated at someone and then the reaction, or like the inverse reaction that comes. Like, and I think that's the whole society. It's like, well, I said this, so you like, well, you just said the same thing, so like that's not valid. Like, every argument I feel like is just who's less valid because like I need to be right. But it's like, I don't care if you disagree with me. I just have a point and it's separate from your point, and that's okay. Like with my dad, talking to him, he is 50 years old, or over 50, right? He's my dad, so he's far older than me, has far more life experience, and could absolutely have the skills required to have a good conversation and not just go, well, I did this and you did this. And that tends to be our conversations, because it just goes this like, well, you should be mature about this. Well, you should be, and it's just like, who in this situation is the most mature one? The child or the adult? Like, the adult child, yes, the adult, who knows? And so, I don't know, I think that I like being in conversations where, like, even if we're differing opinions, and it's not like, you're not trying to convince me of your point still. Like, and I like when I can talk about something and it's not viewed as like I talk all the time, clearly. Like, I talk and regulate through speak, and I know that it comes across to other people as like it can be giving excuses, it can be like inconsideration, it can be being flighty, it can be disassociation. They can apply all those things to me based on how I act, but I don't see myself like that. But a lot of times in conversations, I'm like seeing their perspective, figuring out how can I respond in a way that is also shares my perspective, respects their perspective, but like also makes it clear that I'm not necessarily going to change my mind, especially like right now there's too many really important things being talked about and being considered publicly, societally, to have very like vague views. In my opinion, like I'm very staunch on who I believe gets to have rights. It's a lot of people deserve rights, let me tell you. A lot of people, not everyone, like the bullies. I'm kind of to the point where I don't think the bullies can be nice, like be mean anymore, but like everyone deserves the same basic human rights. And I think nothing is equal. Nothing is equal, and the things that should be equal aren't. And I want to live in a world that's more balanced, whether or not that's good or bad, because good and bad have to exist at the same time. You have to have both. You have to have the bad moments to remember the good moments are worth it, and vice versa. But at the same time, I want more balance where it's less common for people to get away with being awful and less common for people to like be persecuted for being normal. Like the amount of things I've been made fun of that are actually valid, there's not that many. Like if you're making fun of the way I look or the way I sound or the way I talk, like it's fine. But also, where is that coming from? Like, what is the basis for making fun of someone? Outside of you just don't like their vibe, maybe, which is fine. But you don't have to like their vibe. There's a lot of people where I'm like, meh, not my vibe. But I don't have to tell them. I don't have to make that their business. It's not everybody's business what I think of every person until they ask. And if they ask, I might be honest. But also, like, I expect that from other people. I want them to be honestly, I will cry, but I want people to be like, girl, you are wrong. Or like, girl, you're not doing the right thing. I want people to tell me that, even if it makes me upset, because I can't control that I will have a bodily reaction. I know that will happen. But I know that. I'm not trying to use that in any way. I just like know that my body wells. I am an emotional person. I cry when I watch any video of anything emotional. And so I am just someone that's like, I'd rather, even if it makes you uncomfortable that I'm like crying a little, I'm not gonna make it your problem that I am, but I can't stop it. But also, like, I want to be told those things and not just, I don't want to be made fun of for shit that doesn't matter, but I want to be made fun of for the shit that I should be challenged for. Everyone deserves consequences for being wrong sometimes. And not just being wrong, but like some of our thoughts can be harmful. And if we share them publicly, like I'm a yapper, I say a lot of things. And I probably say a lot of things that like I don't think about. I say everything and I don't think about it. Let's put it that way. And so I know that there's probably times where I don't say the right thing. And I have to expect that. Like, I don't want to be perfect. That's
Well done.
That's okay. Do your job. I'll just be here on camera. It's probably better I got a break. I was really going off, and a lot of that might not have made sense. And that's okay. I've taken this many notes. I'm not good at reading. Okay, no, I'm not good at reading. I like to read. That doesn't mean I'm good at it. So I'm gazing, skimming, a little bit. Not a lot of it, though. A little bit. Do you guys think that this is a good standard thumb? Actually, a well-formed thumb? Does that look well-formed? That means I've got good traits to support Mars in my hands. My thumbs are slightly different in size, too. Just a little bit. Boop, boop. Wow, wow.
hungry? Are you hungry?
Yeah, a little.
You got appetite for a meal?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do I press this to turn it off?
Hold it. Nice. We just ate some food. It was yummy. What'd you think about the food?
It was good.
Cool.
It was nutritious and delicious. The teriyaki was very nice, and the broccoli and sweet potatoes were cooked very well. So
Nice.
it was very nice. Thank you for it as well.
And then so while we were eating, I brought up the first book I made, and I provided honesty in that I had AI help me generate it, and then Elf was sharing her opinions about it, and I was sharing the nuance, and I just wanted to say I have very strong mixed feelings, like I was saying, and the one way I found, like it sounded like you said that you haven't found a way that AI has been used that's a good.
I guess I haven't witnessed a way that makes me feel it's worth all of that. Like, I'm not saying no good has come from it. I just haven't seen anything where I'm like, that couldn't have been done by some other method,
right?
And or done like without all of the. But yeah,
I think the content creation is where we go wrong. Like when you provide something for the world to consume with AI, that's like cheap. It's not like, I mean, it's literally cheap. Like if you hired someone to do something similar, it would cost a lot more. So it's like it's literally cheap quality, and like you can tell
not as it's not as it's not as personal. Also,
yeah,
it comes
there's no
across
soul.
as it comes across as it's not necessarily like connected to like the thought and the person talking. It's just kind of like their prompt, like the shared outcome of the prompt.
And so I follow a guy, Dan Coe, that he's inspiring people how to use it well. And he tells people that he does not share publicly any of the output from his AI conversations, but it's like a brainstorming tool to develop your own thoughts. And so the more, so there's prompt engineering. Back in 2023, I took a course on how to prompt engineer for like fitness and health coach professionals.
Yeah.
Like how can you help people with their unique situations but still be the human interacting with that person? So not just like being like, hey, use AI to figure out your meal plan for yourself, but like learning how to engineer the prompts, and like the difference between like a one-line prompt versus like a 10-page prompt has wildly different outcomes. And so one person I learned from, like Gary Vaynerchuk, he's explicitly said that he will use the recorder app on his phone to talk and get a transcription of like a half an hour of like what, like the context of what he wants to get like brainstorming around, like whether it's building content or improving your health or a difficult situation that you're dealing with and you don't have anyone to talk about it with. Like if there's difficult dynamics going on, you can literally talk it, like do like the recorder app, so it's not in the AI app, but speak. And this is primarily for people that just don't have someone that can listen to them and understand the context without the bias of like jumping into like, I'm going to fix this for you, or like this is how you should do it. Because humans have that a strong like, I have a lifetime of stuff that I'm going to use in response to what we're talking about, which can be valuable depending on the person. If it's like you're talking about a situation at work that you've had or difficult stuff, you're talking with your dad, you're going to talk differently. And so with AI, you can do the recorder app and transcribe it, so you can talk like you're talking to anyone. You can be like, hey, I'm talking to a therapist, I'm talking to a lawyer, I'm talking to a cop, I'm talking to a mental health professional, I'm talking to a fitness coach. You can tell it like who you want to address, and then it'll pull that. When you put that into the AI, it'll seek the perspective of that persona that you're wanting to talk to, so that what you get back is a conversation with that type of person. And so if you want to develop your business potential, you'd talk to like an expert business coach, maybe even an eccentric business coach that excels in like and has a background in the industries of tattoo and hemp and like caregiving and just like community and all the things that you might be like give it as much context. And the caveat is please, please, please use a temporary chat without any saved memory so that it's not training its model from your.
Well, and that's part of it too. Yeah, I see the value of filling a lonely gap.
Yeah.
Except I've personally in my experience of witnessing other people with technology, and because I mean, anyone born in our generation is
Right.
very encroached. It's very in their life. I feel even with my own life when I try to be present in like online to fill a void physically with that I'm lacking from human connection, I find that I like end up feeling lonelier because I'm not actually like you can say I'm talking to a trainer, I'd like to talk to this person, but you're talking to a summary of what Google thinks that would look like. And so that could lead to you being gravely injured or gravely misinformed on something because you don't. I think in order to be able to get an answer where you can concert that it's correct or not, you have to have that intuition to go forward. I'll write down what I'm thinking if I can remember it.
Yo.
I don't remember what I was saying. How to think of the word. What is the word? Gotta snap the friends, y'all. I didn't really tell anybody that I was doing this today, so now they know. You can keep working if you need to. That's okay.
Well, I wanted to wrap up a little bit after this Kelly's will be closing down.
Slay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So if we could go on for just like a minute, it's just warming up.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like looking actively for things and would need you, but just.
Oh. So thank you for coming.
Yeah.
This has been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you again because we got lots more to talk about.
Yes. I feel like we were in the middle of a lot of conversations and we can maybe wrap them up. I mean, sometimes they come around and go around, you know? Sometimes things need to be talked about.
Yeah, and I think that I really appreciate your perspective and your opinions. Because if you can, when you specifically elaborate on your opinions, it helps my brain understand, like, and broaden my perspective.
I appreciate that. I agree. I think a conversation with you is very, like, if not like changing what I think, it helps broaden how I view it. And I like that. I mean, we haven't even gotten to talk that much. We met like 4.5 minutes ago, but I like that you speak and think very, not critically, but like look at the world in a way that's like you actually consider it. Like, I don't like the word critical, but like you take a concerted effort to perceive the world and understand it. And I like to listen to people that like to do that and like that want to understand. Yeah. So I appreciate you listening to me out too also.
Yeah. Is there any last words you'd like to share before
I don't think so. I think that I don't know, any conversations, if we have them again, we can talk more, but I don't really have any like final parting thoughts. Thanks for listening. If you're listening.
Thanks for
appreciate it.
Thanks for chilling with Dylan and Elf.
Thank you for chilling. I'm so happy to be here. All right. Now I'll stop smacking the mic. Maybe.